before the storm hit, before the waters rose and the winds descended, this was a vulnerable population.
You had people who had lots of storms all their lives, but this was a storm with such different consequences.
This was the most catastrophic evacuation that we had ever experienced in the United States in our modern times.
Well, a lot of people that did not make it out of the Superdome.
Yeah, we were standing in line for like forever.
For some people, the trauma was the evacuation.
They were left in the devastation of the convention center and the Superdome, so there are experiences that haunt them.
There is hardly any mental support, and people really are depressed.
Xanax. And when we first got into the shelter, that's what they gave us. And that's for anxiety attacks.
Suicides increased fantastically after the storm.
I actually wanted to just give up on school due to Katrina.
He wants to drop out of school to go to work. Basically, he's homeless.
It was just thrust upon us so quickly.
I felt so sad that she wasn't going to come and get me anymore.
But it's hurting when you see a child that you had and you raised and you know that's not your child and they change, that hurts.
Me and my children were separated. Everybody was getting it. First they was, then they just stopped doing it. They left before we did. You know, I was like, maybe they did. The only thing we can do now is just start over. That's gonna be hard, but we ain't got no other choice.
The ability to reclaim your life, to move back home, to see a house fixed, isn't there.
And we can't get our life back together at all. I mean, this is just too much.
The only people who really know what's going on are the people who come to New Orleans and see for themselves.
People still, 2 years later, being homeless. Do anybody care?
As opportunities presented itself, I just grabbed them because I needed to get it behind me so I can figure out what my next steps were going to be.
We've done everything, we're ready to go back, and all we need is the U-Haul and some gas money.
We still do have a larger population. I'd say now we're down to maybe 100,000 people.
I mean, if we had to start all over again, the most logical thing would be to let's just do it here.
You know, I'm numb. From my mother to my 2 aunts to my grandmother, at this time I'm just numb.
But I don't think it's never gonna be back to normal. Not for me.